Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we are going to look at the 4 latest Arsenal news. The first Arsenal news is Charles Watts has confirmed an Arsenal update, as he confirms exactly what Edu wants, as Arsenal could sign Starboy later on in window, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of World Cup Ghana international and AFC Ajax attacker Mohammed Kudus. Charles Watts has backed Mikel Arteta's Arsenal to secure the transfer of Ajax midfielder Mohammed Kudus later on in the 2023 summer transfer window. The Arsenal transfer expert pointed out that the 22-year-old is someone who Mikel Arteta and Edu Gaspar want this summer. But Watts added that the Premier League title chasers will need to sell before he expects them to dip into the transfer market by bringing in more incomings this summer. As he told Arsenal Insider, he expects Mohammed Kudus to be one of those players, although he did point out that Mauricio Pochettino's Chelsea are also keen to take him on board. The quicker Arsenal are in selling those unwanted players or those who want to leave, the better, and if they manage to land Kudus' talents, then as Watts mentioned, he is someone that fits the bill for the London club. There has been a lot of talk about Mohammed Kudus possibly coming to Arsenal, said Watts. Sven Mislintat. Remember him? Arsenal's former head of international recruitment. He is now sporting director at Ajax, where Kudus plays, and he has been talking about Kudus' future. I have said that I do expect Arsenal to have another look in terms of incomings this transfer window. But I do think it will be later on in the window. The focus, right now, is moving players on. Getting some money in. If they can do that, then they can reassess. I look at Kudus. I think he fits the bill. He can play on the right. He is versatile. He is exactly what Mikel Arteta and Edu want. The age profile. He ticks an awful lot of boxes. If Arsenal can move players on, and Kudus is still on the market, which is a big thing because Chelsea are interested in him as well, then it wouldn't surprise me if they firm up that interest in him. That's a title that belongs to a certain Bukayo Saka, but it's also one Nigel de Jong gave Kudus at the 2022 Qatar World Cup. The Ghana international showcased his skill on world football's biggest stage, as well as in the Champions League last season, which impressed a certain Thierry Henry. But with Ajax not in the Champions League next term, then this opens the door for Kudus to take that next step in his career. The second Arsenal news is Football Transfers has confirmed an Arsenal update, as they confirm Arsenal express interest in winger who Thierry Henry thinks is magnificent, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of Georgian international and Napoli forward Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Arsenal are continuing to scour the market for new players before the window shuts and have their eyes on a new attacking player. The Gunners have already spent north of £200 million this summer on the likes of Kai Havertz, Jerian Timber and Declan Rice. However, their spending might not be over just yet. According to Football Transfers, the Gunners are now keen on signing Napoli superstar Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. The report claims that Arsenal have expressed an interest in signing Kvaratskhelia as they look to give themselves extra firepower in attacking areas. Despite their spending, talk has continued from various media outlets that Mikel Arteta would love another wide player to put pressure on or play with Bukayo Saka. Kvaratskhelia, 22, shone for Napoli last season as both he and Victor Osimhen fired them to the Serie A title. Lauded by Thierry Henry on CBS Sports for a magnificent performance against Liverpool last term, Kvaratskhelia is very much seen as one of the most exciting prospects in Europe. Napoli, of course, are keen to keep hold of their winger, just like Victor Osimhen. Kvaratskhelia is a player of huge interest. Football Transfers reports that it would take a huge offer for Arsenal to even get near Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia would be outstanding for Arsenal. There's a few players in European football right now who would get into most teams, and Kvaratskhelia is definitely one of them. His form in Naples last season was nothing other than superb. His pace, trickery, and ability to both create and score goals make him one of the biggest threats in Europe from wide areas. If Arsenal somehow pulled this off, then it would send a huge message to the rest of the league. The third Arsenal news is Fabrizio Romano has confirmed an Arsenal update, as he confirms £40 million player now decides he wants to join Arsenal over league winners, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of World Cup Spain international and Brentford goalkeeper David Raya. Fabrizio Romano claims that Brentford goalkeeper David Raya prefers a move to Arsenal over Bayern Munich this summer. The transfer insider took to Twitter on Sunday afternoon and shared an update on Arsenal's interest in signing Raya. Arsenal have enjoyed a promising start to the summer window as they've already moved to bring in Kai Havertz, Jurrien Timber, and Declan Rice. The Gunners were expected to focus on outgoings after spending over £200 million already this summer. But they are lining up a surprise move for David Raya. Indeed, The Athletic's David Ornstein broke the news today that Arsenal are exploring a deal to sign Raya. The 27-year-old has just entered the final year of his contract and looks set to leave Brentford this summer. He's attracting interest from Bundesliga champions Bayern Munich, while Tottenham were also previously interested in signing the Spaniard. But Romano claims that Raya prefers a move to the Emirates Stadium over Munich. Romano took to Twitter on Sunday afternoon and claimed that Arsenal are expected to launch a bid for Raya soon. Raya has excelled for Brentford over the past couple of seasons and has caught the eye of plenty of big clubs this summer. The Spaniard seemed to be closing in a switch to Spurs earlier this summer, but Arsenal's North London rivals refused to pay £40 million to sign him. It has certainly come as a surprise to see Arsenal targeting a move for Raya, especially given Aaron Ramsdale's form last season. The Englishman was a standout performer for the Gunners, and it seems unlikely that he drops out of Mikel Arteta's starting lineup anytime soon. But Arsenal fell short in the race for the Premier League title last season due to a lack of depth, and Raya would certainly provide quality competition for Ramsdale between the sticks. The final Arsenal news is 90 Minute has confirmed an Arsenal update, as they confirms Chelsea now think they're about to beat Arsenal to signing special Premier League star, as Arsenal look to complete the signing of France international and Crystal Palace attacker Michael Olise. Chelsea now believe that they are set to beat Arsenal to the signing of Michael Olise, with the Frenchman available for £35 million in the summer transfer window. That is according to a report from 90 Minutes, which suggests that the Blues think that they are about to win the race to sign the Crystal Palace star ahead of the new campaign. Michael Olise could prove to be a bargain signing at £35 million. The Frenchman actually contributed 11 assists in the Premier League last season as Palace ended the campaign in mid-table. Chelsea think they've beaten Arsenal to Olise's deal. A clause in his contract has opened the door for the division's heavyweights to take a look at a move. And 90 Minute claims that Manchester City and Arsenal were both interested in Olise. However, it is Chelsea who appear to be on course to win the race. 90 Minute reports that Mauricio Pochettino's side are now optimistic of bringing Olise to Stamford Bridge. Interestingly, it is noted in the report that Olise's younger brother is already on the books at Chelsea. So that may have played a part in the former Reading Star's decision. It may seem like a real blow to plenty of Arsenal supporters. The Gunners have enjoyed a very impressive window so far. However, there are a couple of areas where Mikel Arteta's side surely need more depth, and out on the right is potentially one of those positions. Bukayo Saka started to look jaded towards the end of last season, and Arteta did not really have someone to come in and replace him. It could be a big year for Reiss Nelson for that reason. But Olise would have been a brilliant addition. He is a special talent with an incredibly high ceiling, and he would not have cost the earth. But unfortunately for Arsenal, he now appears to be heading elsewhere. Do you know the Arsenal news on Botello? You will enjoy this video on your screen too.